Hey, what's going on, Champ Squad? My name is Vinsanity, and welcome back to another Apex Legends video here in Season 19. So in today's vid, I'm going to provide an updated guide and break down all the important Apex Legends movements on controller. This will include in-depth guide of the mechanics and button progressions needed to do movements such as super gliding, super jumping on ziplines, and bunny hopping. The tutorial will include the basic button progression needed to execute the movement, any settings I recommend using that can make the movement a little bit easier to do, and several key tips for improving and getting more consistent. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so kicking things off, the first movement we're going to cover is how to super glide on controller. So super gliding is probably the most useful complex movement you can incorporate into your game. It allows you to jolt yourself forward or to the side with high velocity after climbing something. This can definitely be useful in 1v1 gunfights when you want to get a head start on an enemy, and this gives you unpredictable movement that's very hard to track. So real quick before we get into the tutorial itself, there are a few settings that you need to check, and it'll just make super gliding and other complex movements way easier to do on controller. The first is running crouch on hold. Having crouch on hold just makes complex movements way easier and gives you tighter control over your movement in general. It takes a bit of getting used to at first, but I've noticed having crouch and hold does make it significantly easier to get super glides down with some consistency. It's not impossible to do it with toggle, but I do find it more challenging, so definitely put crouch on hold. The other main setting you should double check is just confirm you have sprint by default or auto sprint on. This is a good setting for overall movement improvement, but it's really important for things like super gliding and bunny hopping because it keeps your momentum always moving forward, and this is required for some of these more complex movement techniques. Alright, so getting into the mechanic itself, the button progression for performing the super glide is actually very simple. It's just that there's a very narrow timing window which makes it challenging. So to super glide, you're going to want to come up to an object, initiate the climb, and just as the climbing animation is finishing, just as you get to the top of the object, you want to press and hold crouch and jump together as you keep your left stick forward. Again, climb the object, and just as the climb animation is finishing, press and hold crouch and jump together. If you execute the movement correctly, your character's legs will straighten out and stiffen as you get jolted forward. I recommend practicing on these stacks in the firing range, and also just as you're playing BR every time you're rotating or climbing something, use as an opportunity to practice super gliding. So the most challenging part of this movement is definitely getting the timing down. If you're too early on the timing, your character will just stop at the top of the object and you won't glide forward. It's a very narrow time window for executing this movement, and you need to press and hold crouch and jump in that very narrow window to execute it correctly. Having paddles where you have crouch and jump mapped to the paddles will make it easier. Otherwise, you should definitely check out a button layout that allows you to press jump and crouch together while keeping your left stick forward. Once you get the basics down, you can also super glide left and right in pretty much any direction, and you can make your movement very unpredictable. Alright, so on to the next controller movement, super jumping on ziplines. Super jumping basically just allows you to get more loft and distance when you interact with ziplines in Apex Legends, and given how many zips there are on all the different maps, this is actually a pretty useful mechanic to work on. To get the hang of this movement, I recommend putting down a horizontal zipline in the firing range like I have here, looking forward about eye level, and then you want to toggle the zipline and press jump twice right after. Again, toggle, then jump, jump right after. It needs to be very quick because just like with super gliding, the actual button mechanics are simple, but the timing window is very narrow and it can be a bit challenging. So make sure you have a button configuration that allows you to quickly press toggle and then jump right after, or it might be very difficult. So I recommend either using paddles or a configuration that allows you to take the main buttons off of the face of the controller so you can press jump right after pressing toggle. So once you've figured out the basics of this movement, it's actually not too challenging to get it down consistently, especially on horizontal zip lines. But this movement can also be extended to vertical zips with the exact same mechanics. You'll just press interact and jump twice immediately after. And if you execute it correctly, you'll get a lot more loft and height on the movement. Just keep working on the timing, and you'll be able to get this pretty much every time. Alright, so the last complex controller movement I'm going to cover in this guide is bunny hopping. Bunny hopping basically allows you to bounce around like a psycho. It's sort of a broken mechanic that makes you very difficult to land shots on, as you're a constantly moving target and your momentum never slows down. So to execute the bunny hop, you'll definitely want to play with crouch on hold and have crouch mapped either to a paddle or a button that you can easily access along with jump and the left joystick. And then basically you'll just run, slide, and hold down the crouch button while pressing jump every time your character is about to hit the ground. Again, just keep your crouch button held and press jump, 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 jump with the timing of that cadence. And this will basically keep your momentum from running out, especially if you're turning like I am here. You can basically bunny hop in a circle forever, especially with a character like Horizon. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for the movement guide. Again, the mechanics for these movements themselves aren't really hard or complicated. It's just the narrow timing window that makes them challenging. And the best way to get used to that is just go in the range and practice it, and you'll realize what that timing window looks like, and the more you do it, the more consistent you can get. If this was helpful, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Right?
Reloading. That was the whole squad. No quarter given.
Attention, delivering care package.
Care package, sweet.
This kid's got a Pred badge on his R9 right now. I'm looking at his banner. What number was he?
Can stick around, but
It's kind of cool that they actually get the number on their badge. I mean, they gotta play all day for that shit, but he was number 49. Damn. I know it's almost cracked. I got conduit, and I got the other one with my ult somehow. I'll take it. Nice. More? No?
frag out. Reloading.
Alright, that
Down
kid.
one.
Cracked him.
Enemy shield. Reloading. Give me a sec. Recharge.
Another team, I think? Or I'm hearing something.
Un momentito, healing.
I'm going down.
Safety's off, folks. Enemies here.
Healing. This is taking too long.
Reloading.
Bro, he's ratting somewhere around here, but I can't find him.
I'm down. Oh, I actually got hit.
Cracked an enemy shield.
Cracked that
Reloading.
Octane, but there's another kid. I'm climbing back up in a sec.
Hands up, we're not alone.
Broken enemy shield. Hey, got our squad mate's banner. 1 minute. Bottom. Another notch on the belt. Whole unit KIA. Damn, I'm good.
Could actually be a decent game if I don't die.
Leaders coming.
Peter kid's still shooting me, bro.
Reload.
Timing it.
It's an Octane on you. The other team is pulling up on us.
Dudes over there.
Turn around, turn around. There's a kid over here somewhere. Finish the kill.
Kill confirmed.
Oh, you ain't messing around. Ultimate's ready.
He's out here. I'm swinging on him.
That was the whole squad. Giving my shields a recharge.
I got fried. Nice.
Give me a sec. Recharging shield.
Another team on us. Hard. They're hard swinging. Damn, that's... This kid behind the tree's one shot. Try to kill him with a smoke. Cracked. Another one.
Double time.
Nice shot. Great shot, great shot. 2 down. Yes, sir.
Our squad mate was weak. Now it's only us. Reloading.
Teammates over here.
Tango near me. Reloading.
It's either a Bloodhound or a Caustic, I can't really tell. He's over here though.
Enemy spotted.
Chopping this many, then we can push him.
One left.
Just fucking gas bomb me. Cracked hard. He's cracked pretty hard. He ran into his gas, of course.
Taking a knee. Patching up.
Enemy
Nice.
shield cracked. Knocked out an enemy.
Squad bites the dust. Heads up.
And they got thirded.
My shields a recharge. Reloading.
Let's put you in a line.
I'm moving forward on this.
Enemy shield.
Cracked Loba. Cracked Lifeline.
Down to target. Double timing it.
Cracked Conduit.
Reloading.
Two squads down.
Open enemy shield.
Got her. Gotta heal though.
Found another.
We're close to the ring. Recharging.
I gotta pop a... You might want to get out of here, bro. There's 2 teams left. You use your ult, right?
45 seconds.
I'm pushing this kid with you. Weak.
One squad left. A pure test of superiority.